On Saturday, the 6th of April, White Collar Boxing Championships brings to you Season 8, where we will see two contenders battling it out for our heavyweight title. We've got one contender, Danny Harvey, up against Antonio Libra. Gentlemen, welcome to Raw. Here at White Collar Boxing Championships, we have now released our WCBC title belts. So we've got belts like the featherweight, middleweight, welterweight, heavyweight title belts on the line. Which contenders that have signed up previously to one of our events are more than welcome and eligible to box for now. So these two gentlemen are launching the heavyweight title. They're fighting for the vacant title, and they're going to be boxing 5 rounds with a head guard on and 16-ounce gloves on to keep that safe white collar factor. Okay, so before we kick it off, I'm going to go in depth with both these fighters and talk about what they've been up to, what they're going to be doing in their training camp, and most importantly, what their fight strategy is going to be on the fight night. Let's go back and see what both these guys have been up to. So, Dan, let's start off with you. You last boxed with us on Season 7, which was not long ago, which was in November. So what have you been up to? And be honest, because we want to hear the truth from both of you.
In all honesty, you know, over the Christmas period, just indulging in food, a bit of alcohol, ticking over still in the gym in the mornings, but just not watching what I'm eating, just indulging really.
Okay, and Tony, to yourself?
Yeah, a bit of the same with that, you know, too much, drank too much, you know, but still in the forefront there, just thinking about, come on, get in that gym, do some running, do some weights, and then looking forward to the next season.
So this title fight was arranged pretty soon when we had released our world title, our WCBC title belts. So Tony, starting off with you, when you got the call and we confirmed that you're fighting for that heavyweight title, have you done any training since then? Have you had that little window of pre-training before your training starts this week?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I've been doing more running. I've been hitting the gym so much, which is working on the fitness. You know, I mean, that's what's going to get me through the rounds, and hopefully with these guns, you know, it's not going to go the distance. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love him to bits. You know, it's Valentine's Day, but you know what? You're gonna have to take me out in a body bag, man. Otherwise,
excellent, good stuff. I like it. I like the talk. But just hold fire for a few more seconds and then we can bring it to the camera in a second. So, Dan, tell us, have you had a little pre-training camp before your training camp, which has started this week?
Yeah, I kind of got over the Christmas period, you know, starting probably mid-January, upping my cardio a bit and doing a bit of work on the bags. And when I found out that I had Tony, I kind of put a few things into practice, just working on a few bits and bobs for him, just to try and catch him.
So when you got the phone call, how did you feel?
Oh, I was elated, you know, it's obviously I was kind of gifted a belt at the last one for kind of the training that we did, but it doesn't compare to actually fighting for a belt and winning one outright that way. Something I've always wanted to do, so.
Excellent, and this is why we call the White Collar Boxing Championships, because we give you contenders, you people there sitting at home watching this, a chance to come on our boxing event and take part in our event and be in with a chance of being gifted, as Danny says, with our WCBC title. So if you're one of the best boxers, based on your commitment and your attitude, we will then award you with one of our championship belts. But like Danny says, there's nothing more worthwhile than actually going 5 rounds and winning that belt. So that's what's going to happen, and that's what we've introduced now. So Tony, when you got that call, how did it make you feel? Was you super excited? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was excited, man. I was like, I was shocked when I got the other contender, but you know, I actually in my head I thought I was going to get Dan in the last season.
On the last season. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. never mind. But you know, now that we've been matched
So
up,
staying on that subject, you was up against Kev,
Kev,
and you went 3 rounds, and you won by points, by
Yeah.
unanimous.
yeah.
So give us a little bit of that rundown in your fight. What you got from your fight?
Yeah, I mean, I lasted pretty well in the 3 rounds. I felt that I was winning each round. Kev is not he's not an easy fighter. He's a
Strong guy,
he's a
tough
strong,
guy, yeah,
tough
yeah.
guy. But what I did with Kev was, you know, he had a game plan, and I basically knocked his game plan out the window. So, you know, the same with Dan. You know, I'm going to twist and turn.
Are you going
and
to keep
show
that
you.
same game plan?
You're going to have to wait and see, but you know what I'm saying?
We're going to get it out of you in a few
gonna be
seconds. Yeah,
different.
we're
It's
not
going
going
to
to
be
wait till
different to
6th
the
of
last
April to know
fight.
your game
You
plan.
can't
We're
watch
gonna get it.
you can't watch the last video and think I'm going to do the same stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, excellent. And Dan, moving on to your last fight, season 7, you stopped your opponent within 45 seconds. So with a technical stoppage, you won that fight.
Yep.
Whereas Tony's been 3 rounds, you've not. There's 2 ends to having a knockdown. One is it's a great feeling knocking someone out. I know I've been there a few times. But the other thing is you don't get them rounds in. Yeah. So tell us about your fight and what's your outcome on that one?
You know, I didn't get the rounds. It was a quick stoppage. Not something I expected. You know, I trained to go the full 3 rounds. I felt confident. I came into the fight relaxed. I was, you know, was really relaxed on the evening, and I was expecting the war, and I'm expecting a war with Tony as well. I know he's going to come all guns blazing.
Of course, big, strong guy.
Both
of you are
both
big,
both
strong
big
guys.
lads.
Yeah.
Both can pack a punch. Both take a punch as well. I love the way that he's got his hair shaved, ready for that right up to connect there. You know, that's just a nice little target there for me. So, because at the end of the day, that's what stopped the first fight, was that nice right hook.
He's half Italian, so he's naturally got that boxing blood in him.
You know, I've got a bit of Rocky Marciano in me, you know what I'm saying? I'm pushing probably an extra 10 years on top of you, but the heart here is like a lion, man, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be war, that's what I'm saying.
Like Thunderlip says in Rocky 3, mate, I'm coming for your meatball.
That's it, man.
Excellent. Dan, what are you going to be doing on your fight? Give us 1 or 2 of your key skills, something that we already know you're good at. We know you're good at that power shot. What is there anything else that you're going to come in? What are you going to do to take Tony out?
I showed I was comfortable in the ring. I can move. You know, I've got the footwork. I can evade. I can kind of keep my jab going. I want to showcase more of that. I want to show that I've got the movement. I've got the boxing brain. It's not just power. It's not, you know, I'm not just going to unleash this hammer on you. I've got the boxing brain. I can actually, you know, piece things together.
Tony, yourself, what 2 key skills are you bringing into your next fight?
Yeah, I'm going to bring a bit of experience from the last fight or so, and just, you know, you can watch the video back. I dominated that fight. I jabbed him at the fight. I'm going to mix it around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use body shots. I'm going to use head shots. I'm going to have him running around that ring like catching the chicken in Rocky 3. You know what I'm saying?
Now, as Danny said himself, he's got a boxing brain. People have said it when he was training on season 7. You know, Dan's a nice, good, clean-looking, natural boxer. Does that make you uneasy? Does that make you, or does it make you think?
No.
How does that make you feel?
Not at all. Not at all. Dan said it. He said, you know, we both can take a punch. We can both give a punch.
Yeah.
And when we've trained and sparred, you know, it's we don't even flinch. We don't even flinch when we get hit, and that's good. That's the showcase of good war. And like I say, those extra rounds, it's going to see who can either knock out before or go the distance with it.
So some might say he might just have the edge over you on that technicality, on the technique and that boxing brain.
And I've got the youth as well.
Youth as well.
That's it.
Yeah, so is your fight strategy, are you thinking more to come in and rough him up?
You know, I can't give you the tactics for the fight, but all I'm saying
yes.
is, you know, I'm coming guns a-blazing, man. That belt is coming in my direction.
Now, Dan, you knocked your opponent out 45 seconds. Quickest knockdown or stoppage we've had on White Collar Boxing Championships. Is that what you're coming to do? Are you looking for an early knockout in the first round again? Because you know your crowd's going to be expecting it. And sometimes when your crowd expect it and the build-up to your training camp, when your crowd say, "Oh, we want to see another knockout," you can throw a fighter off their strategy. So where's your mind at? Are you going to be led by your crowd, or are you going to be focused on Or do you have a totally separate game plan?
To be fair, the last fight, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not expecting it on this one, but you know, if I can get it done 30 seconds, it'll be even better for me. You know, I can get back to that bar quicker.
It's always saying it was a lucky punch that did it 45 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So
He said, So he said he wants to get you out. Is that what's going to happen, Tony? Tell your opponent he's right in front of you.
Yeah, well, if he's going for 30, I'll go for 20 seconds.
Is that how you see it happening? Do you
He's
reckon?
got to hit me first.
Good stuff. So now, as well as you being a great mover, Tony, I think what a couple of key skills that you've got is that you're a little bit more grittier as well, and I think you can definitely capitalize on that. But Dan was talking to me earlier, and he said, you know what, I think he fancies you having you out in the first 3 rounds.
Bring it on, man. Bring it on.
What's your mind? What's your confidence like going into this? What are you going to? Is there any techniques either of you use to train your mindset? Because mindset for me is just a bigger thing as the boxing ability. So tell us a little bit of your training camp, what you're doing. I know you said you're going to be running. Tell us, how many miles running? Are you doing sprints? And any strategies in there to work on that mindset as well?
Look, man, I might be older, but, Dan's...
How much older? How old are you?
I'm probably... I can't tell you that on camera.
Roughly. So you got 10 years on
I'd say
that.
plus.
Yeah. So Dan, you got a little bit of that youth behind you. You got the experience behind you.
Got the experience,
Yeah.
I mean, Dan, he's been pushing it a little bit over Christmas, He needs to trim down a little bit just to get that extra fitness that he needs.
So what you've been saying, he's having too many pints.
So
He's had too many pints.
Maybe just too many, just one too many.
Too many protein shakes, that's all it is, mate.
That's it.
So he said he's pumping the iron.
Pumping the iron, I think he could potentially burn out early if he tries to just take me and burn out too early, and he's got to be careful,
So Dan, you've not been 3 rounds, and this fight is 5 rounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, you're going to be training, but deep down, are you confident you can go the 5 rounds?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I trained for 3 rounds the last time. I felt confidence with my fitness.
What you're going to be doing this time
go.
around to make sure you can really full on do the 5
Well,
rounds?
I'm already doing circuits every morning. I'm doing my running, I'm doing my bag work. This is before I go to work in the mornings.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of Tony already on my mirror.
So you're training
Rocky style.
twice a day, morning,
Twice a day,
after
yeah.
training, yeah. So he's letting it out. He's already training twice a day, Tony. Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you think your fitness is going to be a big factor?
Oh yeah,
for you?
yeah.
Being,
for
being
me,
10 years, being
for me being
slightly
older, I've got to maintain that. I mean, I'm literally doing every other day. Every other day, I have 1 day rest. Back on it. Tough training, running, bags, just keeping fit. Probably running 2 miles a day, as well, and then every other day I'm in that gym. So
well, let's see Saturday the 6th of April. So now we're going to move on to my fight strategy, what I think each of these contenders should do to beat the other person. All right, so Dan, I'm going to start off with you. You mentioned it yourself. You've got maybe slightly better boxing ability or knowledge, I would say, yeah? So you do need to use that as your main point. Both opponents, in my view, are quite similar when it comes to their fight record, their stature. They're both similar size, in height and weight as well. So it's very similar with both your styles. You're both great boxers, actually. You're both great boxers. You both know how to, use the basics, which is very important. So Dan, for yourself, I think, you definitely need to play the more clever boxer. First couple of rounds, jab, move, jab and hold. Not get into that fight, not get into that wear and tear, and then catch Tony in round 3, 4, and 5 and start loading in heavier with each shot and put the pressure on from there. But saying that, Tony is a robust and strong character. Yeah. So Tony, I think, high guard, on your defensive alert from round 1. Don't let him set the pace so much, but maybe not attack as well. Work off your jab, see what's going to come in. Keep an eye out for that left hand, because remember, he's southpaw. Southpaws for an orthodox is tricky. Yeah. So, but I think you just need to bring the game to bring the fight to him from first round. You need to get in there and tie him up. Be a little bit dirty. I don't encourage this, but just putting that weight on him or getting the head a bit in there, being a little bit dirty and roughing him up. Do not give him the distance and let him throw the shots off. but that doesn't mean you haven't got the skills behind you. You know, when you're in there, in the pocket, a load off. And I think if you do that from round one, really get on top and wear him out, I think, you know, it's going to definitely throw his game plan off. But it is going to make for absolute fireworks from both these guys. So from myself and everyone at White Collar Boxing Championships, we wish both of them the best of health and good luck for the event. Gentlemen, let's shake hands. Good luck. We're going to be there Saturday the 6th of April. These boys are going to be ready, and we'll hopefully see you there as well. If you liked what you just watched and you want to be part of this event, whether you want to take part in a 3-round normal boxing match or box for one of our WCBC titles, then register online at www.wcbc.uk and we will see you in training camp.